PULLARSTRECKER Last updated 14:55, September 29, 2017. New photos have revealed the extent of the damage to NZ's jet fuel pipeline. An independent inquiry is required to examine whether Refining New Zealand has been following industry best practice monitoring the condition of its Auckland fuel pipeline. National's Energy and Resources spokeswoman Judith Collins has agreed. The acknowledgement came amid indications that Refining NZ's customers might claim the pipeline operator was liable for losses they suffered as a result of the 170-kilometer pipeline bursting on September 16. It will be for the new government to determine what form any inquiry should take, a spokeswoman for Collins said. Labour Energy spokeswoman Megan Wood said it favoured a governmental independent inquiry to examine the resilience of the fuel supply network as well as political management of the risks. Read more. Refining New Zealand defends not retesting Auckland fuel pipeline before upgrade. Damaged Auckland fuel pipeline may have been waiting to break since 2014. Refining New Zealand Chairman Simon Allen said on Friday that some of its customers had reserved their position over whether force majeure provisions in the company's contracts with customers should apply, pending the outcome of Refining NZ's inquiries into the incident. The implication is that those customers could attempt to pursue Refining New Zealand for the losses they suffered as a result of the fuel crisis. Refining New Zealand has fixed its Auckland fuel pipeline, but the wrangling over who should carry the can for the incident may have only just begun. Refining New Zealand had previously estimated it faced a $12 million to $14 million hit on its pre-tax profit from lost revenues and the cost of repairs. Allen said the refinery and pipeline operator believed force majeure provisions in its contracts with customers should apply. Such provisions usually absolve companies from financial liability in circumstances where they are unable to meet their contractual obligations because of events that are deemed to be outside of their control. The pipeline that supplies the nation's oil and fuel supplies from the Marsden Point refinery was breached on a farm near Ruakaka. Refining New Zealand has blamed an unidentified digger operator for the damage to the pipeline, which resulted in the leak of 70,000 liters of fuel and caused 9 days of flight cancellations at Auckland Airport. It is said the damage could have been done as early as 2014. Refining New Zealand said the pressure in the pipeline was increased in the month preceding the rupture to allow it to carry 5% more fuel, but speculated a different factor could have been the final trigger for the break, such as an issue with the pipeline's electricity supply or pump. Refining New Zealand has commissioned asset integrity expert Quest Integrity to carry out an investigation. Spokesman Greg McNeil said earlier this week that it was pretty confident that their findings will concur with our initial conclusions that, given the extent of mechanical damage, the pipeline would have failed regardless of the operating pressure. Refining New Zealand said Lloyd's Register had recertified the underground pipeline to operate at the higher flow rate. Lloyd's issued the certification based on data from a 2014 pig run which involved passing a device through the pipe to scan the condition of its walls using an electric current, and from observations from daily road patrols, foot patrols, fixed-wing and helicopter flyovers. Refining New Zealand has acknowledged a fresh pig run would have detected damage of the nature it attributed to the digger. But it said it was already carrying out the checks, which cost $1.5 million to $2 million, once every 5 years, which was twice as frequently as required. An industry source questioned whether Refining New Zealand should have been carrying out more regular DCVG direct current voltage gradient testing on the pipeline. Those tests cost less, but could also have picked up damage of the nature described by the firm. Engineers Worley Parsons told the Ministry of Business, Innovation, and Employment in 2014 that DCVG testing was routinely performed on the country's gas distribution network to assess the condition of buried pipeline coating systems and detect potential failure points. Refining New Zealand responded that pig runs were the preferred superior method to understand the integrity of a pipeline. DCVG is used as an alternative for reasons of cost or of the geometry of the pipeline not allowing a pig to traverse it, it said. The three main customers of Refining NZ's Auckland fuel pipeline are Mobil, BP and Z Energy. They also own just over half of the shares in Refining New Zealand. Mobil spokesman Rob Fitzgerald said it was aware of the statements Refining New Zealand had made regarding the application of force majeure provisions. However, we are currently focused on maintaining the supply of aviation and ground fuels into Auckland. "That is our priority," he said. Stuff.